You failed? Slow down. It's okay. Hang on. You're gonna be okay. You failed the exam. Now what? Hello, and welcome back to my channel, Mental Health with Melissa. I'm Melissa. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. I put videos out every single Sunday and Wednesday, and subscribing to my channel really helps me get mental health information out there to our communities of color and information out there to those that are interested in the mental health professions, including tons of Lcsw test prep videos. So if you're studying for your Lcsw exam, don't forget to take a look at all my other videos. I have several on Lcsw test prep questions. Also, if you're new here, I'm a licensed clinical therapist, an Lcsw, a PhD psychology research student, and a clinical supervisor. So if you're used to watching my videos, the setting may look a little bit different. Usually I'm in my office, and today I'm just hanging out on my couch because I wanted this video and this conversation to be comfortable, because if you clicked on this video, then you wanted to know more information about what to do next if you fail the Lcsw exam. So I just wanted to hang out and talk about it because it's okay. It happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. If you failed the Lcsw exam, you're not alone. It's okay. And you're probably feeling discouraged, you're probably feeling disappointed, upset, angry even, stressed, but I'm here to tell you some important facts and also to validate those feelings, because whether you put in time or you didn't put in time to studying for that exam, you went in with the intent to pass the test and it didn't happen. And you know what? That's okay. And today we're going to explore what to do if you don't pass the Lcsw exam. So before we do get started, I do want to say that you failing the test is in no way a reflection on who you are as a social worker or as a person, nor is it a reflection of how you are as a clinician or how smart or not smart you are. You know, this was a tough test, and so I just wanted to start by saying it's okay. And I'm sorry that you didn't pass, but you're gonna be okay. And again, this is not a reflection on the type of person or a social worker that you are. Next, I wanna say that it's okay to get right back in there. I mean, after you get that self-care and after you practice more study questions and things of that nature, but the odds are really in your favor. So you're gonna see me referencing my notes here because I did some research for you for this video. And according to the Lcsw exam national statistics, 74.8% of those that take it pass. 25.2% fail. So although you may have failed the first run, there's still a high possibility that you will pass. And so I want to make sure that you know that the odds are in your favor, because numbers speak volumes, right? And so those numbers are going to tell you a lot. So I want to go over some tips with you about what to do if you don't pass the Lcsw exam. And the first tip that I have for you is to spend at least the first week kind of practicing some self-care and focusing on yourself. Don't use this time to study. Just do you know, do what you need to do, whether that be just go out and have a vacation, go to the spa, do what you were doing before you actually started studying, so that you can kind of hit that reset button, so to speak. So according to the Board of Behavioral Sciences in California, I am a California practitioner, so I'm not too familiar with other licensing states, but I do know for California that if you don't pass, you have 90 days before you can retake the exam again. So you're going to need time anyway before you can just jump right into it. So before you actually jump right into studying again, I say go with some self-care, practice that, and really treat yourself for going through that challenging exam. Because again, whether you passed it or not, you went through a very difficult time answering all those questions, applying yourself, and you know what? You deserve a little bit of a... The next tip that I have for you is that you're going to want to think about those questions that you had on the exam that got you thinking a little bit more. I mean, generally you should have an idea of what questions were really easy for you. I mean, the test doesn't give you any information about what questions you got wrong or what questions you got right. However, just based on your knowledge of how it was taking the test, you're going to remember some of the questions that left you thinking. So you're really going to want to try to remember those types of questions. And when you do get back into studying, you're going to want to study those questions and dive deeper into those questions. So another thing that you can do is when you get your unofficial score report, so that's a piece of paper that the testing center prints out and gives to you, and it's an unofficial score report, and it will have your actual grade on it or your score on it. So for example, if you got a 102, it'll say that you got a 102 and you needed a 106 to pass. And having that information is helpful because it lets you know how far off you were. Obviously, if you needed to get a 106 and you were like at a 50, you got 50 or 56, that tells you something. It tells you that there's a lot of stuff that you didn't understand and that you're gonna really want to start completely from scratch. Now, if you get a 102 and you needed to get a 106, then that lets you know for the most part what you're doing is working, and there was just a few questions that were a little bit challenging or off for you. And so this information gives us a lot, and we wanna utilize these numbers to help us understand a little bit better about our test taking. The last thing that you're going to want to do is really reflect on how the test environment was for you. So what I mean by that is, how was it for you? Were you feeling really anxious? Did something major, like a life experience that had nothing to do with the test, happen the week of the test or the day of the test? Was there any outside stressors you were dealing with? Was the room temperature cold? Okay, so there's a reason why I'm asking these questions, because I mean, at the end of the day, no matter how much we try to control factors related to the test itself, there's really going to be external things that affect the test taking. So if your cat died the night before you took the test, then that's definitely going to impact the way that you feel, obviously. And the way that you feel may inadvertently affect the way that you take the test. So you're gonna really wanna keep those key factors about external stressors, bring them to the forefront so that you can kind of think of what may have affected your test taking abilities. When I say to think about the temperature of the room, there have been studies that have shown that the temperature in the room may definitely affect somebody's ability to retain information or to do well on a test. And so when I say that, if you need to wear an extra layer, I know that there are some test centers actually that don't allow you to wear like a hooded jacket because of some of their strict rules and regulations. So what you can do is, if you wore a shirt, make sure that you wear a long sleeve shirt this time, and make changes in things of that nature. I hope those tips were helpful to you. At the end of the day, I just want to remind you again that you failing the exam is in no way, shape, or form a reflection on who you are as a person or a social worker. You can pass this. The odds are in your favor. And if you take these tips and apply them and study, then I'm sure that you're going to do great. So good luck. And until next time, managing mental health matters.